What up, Tile Money fans? Who's a fan of Tile Money? Making that Tile Money, getting that Tile Money, listening to that Tile Money. Good to see you on this Monday. Join me for a brief discussion. Got some motivation for you today. I'm going to talk about the one thing you need. And if the one thing you need sounds like a gotcha headline, well, I got to admit, it kind of is. You know, like I always say in life and in business, there are no easy buttons, and you do have to put the work in. And you do, from time to time, need some motivation. So that's what we try to do every single Monday right here on the Tile Money channels, wherever you're watching this, Spotify. Maybe you're joining us live on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook. Good to see you. Put your comments in the comment bar, and we can have a group discussion. And so I've got one thing I want to motivate you with today, and it won't take long. I also have a couple things I want to announce, a couple fun things, but we'll save those for the end. And if you're looking for Monday motivation, I want to motivate you. Put in the comments what you're working on, what you need help with, and we'll see if we can talk through it. Now, I've been reading a very motivational book. This book is one of the craziest. I mean, it starts out, I've been listening to it on Audible. It's a 13-hour book. I've got about an hour and a half left. But the first 2-3 hours and I've read some crazy books. You know, I'm a person who likes real life stories. My mother got me into real life stories. She was a person who loved reading about, she grew up in the North Dakota. She was a farmer's daughter. They did milk cattle, she's a person who loves reading real life stories about her ancestors and the people who really, staked ground in America and, farmed and hunted and broke the ground and really had a difficult situation. Good to see you, Facebook user. I'm not sure who you are, but thanks for joining us. And so I've read a lot of those types of stories with her. I've also read some really incredible stories, just unbelievable stories. This one is one of them. It's up in the top 6 of inspirational, motivational, in the sense that David Goggins, his life was just incredibly difficult, and the things he strove after and the aspirations, the vision he gave himself, the things he wanted to work towards was just really incredible. And it's just one of those heart-wrenching stories. I mean, I found myself crying, to almost to tears at times, not quite, but almost, holding back some tears at times, just for feeling, for another human. And I read, and some of the things Goggins did, like 100-mile marathons, all these crazy things. He's a Navy SEAL. He went through that program 3 times before he passed, on the 3rd or the 4th, and all these crazy, crazy stories. And now listen, I understand, Luke Miller's never going to maybe do some of those things, maybe some of them I'll try, he did some things that are certainly attainable for all humans, and maybe that's some inspiration. But what I found myself listening to this book for and taking away from it was, if he can do all that, Luke Miller can certainly get up at 5 a.m. and 4 a.m. and I can do what I need to do to get myself motivated in order to pursue my vision. The other thing I really liked about his story is he did have a very solid vision. His vision maybe is to become the best possible version of himself. And throughout it all, he discussed many physical feats, right? But he really emphasized the mental feats, and even the physical feats were tied into his mental growth and his mental things that he had to overcome and things that he had to come to understand, why he kept getting himself into situations that were torturous, physically and mentally. And so that's the motivation I want to tell you today is, the one thing you really need is a solid vision. and craft this vision for your life and for your business, and wrap your emotions around it. A lot of people, and myself included, will tell you that emotions have no business in business. Well, that's true, and it's not true. You see, there are times when emotions are invaluable, really, in business decisions, and wrapping your vision around your emotion. He describes he wanted to raise $1 million for charity and things like this. They're emotionally, you're emotionally involved. You're emotionally involved in providing for your family. You're emotionally involved in obtaining that property that you want to, be a generational property. You're emotionally involved. Get your emotions involved when you craft your vision. And this vision, if you can craft it and really hold it in your mind, it will allow you to also pass and endure the seemingly impossible, just like David Goggins. And that's what I got and am getting from reading that book is, not only do I listen to this man relate his incredible life stories and all the incredible physical and mental feats he's been through, and this in itself motivates me to get up earlier and to work towards the thing that I want to work towards, the things. And, that vision along the way, and he didn't know, and I didn't know. See you, Mike. And he didn't know, and I didn't know that the mission would change. What's difference between the vision and the mission? Well, the vision, is what you're working towards. That's a certainty. You're going to accomplish that. If it's important enough to you and your life and your business, you will and can accomplish that. The vehicles you use to accomplish that, and maybe you're working towards, your first $1 million in revenue. Maybe you're doing something else in your business. Maybe you're working towards a local charity. Maybe you yourself are raising money, like I'm going to talk about here in a minute, with a friend of mine that I know on Facebook locally or on Instagram. And maybe you're working towards something. Now, you don't know all the obstacles, and you can't foresee all the obstacles, but you can understand that no matter what comes, if that vision is tied to enough emotion and you care enough about that, you're going to find a way. Sometimes you go over, sometimes you go under, sometimes you go around. But in the end, if your vision is strong enough and emotional enough for you, you will obtain it, and you can obtain it. Now, I read a review. I always like to read reviews on books and on podcasts and on movies, and I typically don't. Sometimes I read them before I read the book. This one, I was about 10 hours into the book before I decided to read a review, and this is what one reviewer wrote. Now, her review is fair. I don't know, her or him. Their review is fair. It was a 3-star review, and they said, not for me. It did say, but I thought this sentence was really, really classic. Goggins has indeed accomplished amazing things. They are not, however, goals I would seek to attain myself. Fair enough. Now, what I want to ask you, and the way I saw this is, do you understand that I don't also want to be a Navy SEAL? That's not a goal of mine, and probably never will be at this point. I can use the motivation. I can use his life story, just like I told you, to motivate myself to get out of bed in the morning, to motivate myself to make the bed, to motivate myself to push my mind and come to understand me. All right. Now that's it. That was 8 minutes of motivation. Hopefully it was motivation. Let me know in the comments if it was, if it wasn't, if I'm missing the mark. Let me know. I'd like to improve. Now I want to talk about 2 more things today. First of all, we've got a TileMoney Leadership Challenge coming up. What is a TileMoney Leadership Challenge? Well, this leadership challenge is based on, or is, I should say, is the 75 Hard program. Now, if you're not familiar with the 75 Hard program, just Google it. It's 6 things you can do. It sounds like, if it sounds physical, it's not physical. I mean, yes, there's some physical elements to it, but it's more mental. It's more mental. Can you stick to the program for 75 days? Can you craft your schedule to allow you to exercise on two occasions, twice a day for 45 minutes, 1 outdoors and 1 can be indoors? Can you do this for 75 days? It's more mental than it is physical, because the 45 minutes could literally be walking. And so what I want to do is challenge everybody who's a leader in the community or who wants to improve their leadership qualities. Maybe you're a business owner with employees. You definitely want to improve your leadership qualities, all you have to do is text the word leadership to 844-446-7623, and we will keep you updated. We've got a hard start date and a hard quit date. And the quit date just happens to be around April 18th, 19th, somewhere in there. And that is the Coverings show. During the Coverings show, we're going to have a nice dinner for everybody who's at Coverings who can celebrate their 75 hard accomplishment. And so if once again, it's a basic, it's self-regulated. There's no awards or anything like that. The winner is you. The winner is you for doing the challenge. And if you want to join, just text the word leadership to 844-446-7623. Once again, we're going to be enjoying a nice dinner together during Coverings and one of those evenings at Coverings. If you've ever been to a TileMoney networking event, you know we do not disappoint when it comes to food and drink and enjoying each other's company. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is I've launched a local to me Facebook group for tilers in the Tampa Bay to Fort Myers-ish area. It's called Tampa Bay Tile. The link is in the show notes. If you're watching or listening to this, you can join it if you're in the Tampa Bay area. I also want to invite industry professionals to join in the conversations. I've been thinking about this for a while, and honestly, I thought somebody else would do it, but I've never seen it done here in my local area, and I would really like to get more involved with the local tilers. This is my friend Tony. I met him in person for the first time at Calusa Brewing here in Sarasota, and he had built or made and donated this mosaic here for a charity that is goes to Apple a Day for Kids. It's a kids charity, and this is a silent auction. If you're interested in bidding on this piece of tile artwork, let me know and I'll get the link for you. Tony has a great story. This was the first mosaic he did in the area, one of the first ones, and he did it after 2020 when everybody was kind of freaking out and staying home for a few weeks. He decided to do something with his talent and with his mind and art, and he made this and he donated it to his favorite local brewing company down here. And then they put his name there. You can see Southwest Rock Incorporated in the lower right there. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. I thought, it's worth sharing to you all. If you don't have if you're looking for advertising, you're looking for marketing, you want to definitely think outside the box like my friend Tony here. And then again, he's continues to work with the brewery, and they got together for a good cause, and here he is, donated that. And I went over there myself, took my family on Sunday and had a really nice time. So thanks for the invite, Tony, and thanks for being a local leader, brother. So those are the two things I wanted to talk about today, in addition to the motivation. Again, we hope it was helpful for you, and that's all we got. On Tuesday, tomorrow, we got a full episode coming out. We have a really fantastic episode with my friend Kato Young, and Kato is selling his business. He takes us through 35 years in just under an hour. He takes us through 35 years of being a tile business owner, and if you want to get to the point where you too can sell your business, you'll definitely want to check out tomorrow's interview. It's packed full of wisdom and knowledge and friendly advice. And the other thing we have then on Wednesday is a first part of 4 parts. We have a 4-part series coming up for our Hump Day Wednesday financials, and that's with Drake Vent Hull. And Wednesday, you're going to definitely want to check in for that. It's just about 10 minutes. We give you some advice, and then it's a first part of 4 series. And then on Thursday, we got our book club, which I've been neglecting. I'm going to be condensing these books down to one 15, 20-minute preview per book. So we're going to wrap up positioning this Thursday, and then on Friday, of course, we got Friday Flashback. Good to see you, Mike. It is a TV program. This is media, social media, brother. You know what's on next? The Looney Tunes. All right, everybody. Hope you're having a great Monday wherever this finds you. We will talk at you later. Talk to you tomorrow.